Hey everyone, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. I took a week off of YouTube, gave myself a little break. I've been painting and creating. I have so many little paintings that I can't wait to show you, but today is going to be a drawing exercise, a few exercises, 3 to be exact, 3 exercises that will help us draw loose and fast. So on my little week off, I went to the bookstore, a secondhand bookstore. If you guys have followed my channel, you know I love the secondhand bookstore. I love thrift store shopping. But I went to the secondhand bookstore and I got I've seen this book so many times and I've passed on it quite a few times, but I finally got Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. And there are some great activities that we're going to be using over the next few months. And I also got this fabulous vintage book called Draw in Pencil, Charcoal, and Other Media. These little books, if you find them at the thrift store, are so fantastic. They're older books with lots of great tips, and a lot of times I pass on these books because they're not in great shape. They have water stains on them, they have an odor. But if you go to a secondhand bookstore, oftentimes they will only allow, good quality older books in, if they're going to sell them. So that's where I got these 2 books and they're in great condition. I'm super excited to use these. And today's focus is going to be on 3 exercises to loosen up your drawing. If you are new to my channel, I also have a variety of ebooks on my website, and I will include a link in the comments section to that. But this one is called How to Draw Faces, and I walk you through the process step by step on how to draw eyes, nose, mouth, like these, not realistic faces, but more whimsical, fun faces. We talk about face shapes, and I also have practice sessions. So with the face shapes, you can practice filling them in, practice the eyes, the nose, the mouth. And it's just a really fun little booklet that walks you through the process. It's like a workbook with coloring pages as well and practice sessions. So if you're interested in that, I will include the link to how to draw faces in the comments section. But we are going to jump into drawing loosely and 3 exercises that we can use to warm up, and I hope you join me. The first exercise we're going to do is from Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards, and it's an upside down drawing. And she just says the first step of learning to draw turns out not to be learning to draw. So we don't want to look at familiar things. She says familiar things do not look the same when they're upside down. We automatically assign a top, bottom, and sides to things that we perceive. So instead, we're going to get we're going to get a picture, we're going to turn it upside down, and we're going to draw it. So let's get started on that one. Okay, for this activity, we are going to draw this picture. I just drew this picture, and we are going to attempt to draw it upside down. We are going to turn it upside down and see if we can draw it. Now, what she recommends in the book is not to draw the outline. We are going to try to draw the overall image without thinking these are the eyes, this is the nose, this is the mouth. We're getting out of that. And so that's what we're going to do. Just focus on some shapes. It's weird to try to draw my own picture upside down, but we'll see if we can do it. I don't know. And just note, I'm drawing on an angle, which is quite challenging to draw while you're doing a video, but we'll give it a go. And we're just looking at shapes. We're not giving anything a definition. It's really hard, isn't it, to try to think, oh, these aren't eyes or this isn't a nose. We're just focusing on the shapes. made the mistake of trying to draw it not the right size, but it's almost like the scribble drawing we did in another video. I wonder how that went for you guys. I'd love to know. Make sure to leave a comment. You can press pause if you're still drawing, but I'm going to turn this over and see what it looks like. Okay, let's see. That was really, really fun. You can actually use that with any of your own drawings and see if you can draw upside down. I really like that exercise. This gives it a different kind of character when you're not so focused on trying to draw everything just as you see it. And it talks in the book about like you're trying to draw a nose, you're trying to draw an eye, you're trying to draw the ears and the mouth. But if you turn it upside down, you can't really name things if you're trying to just draw the shapes that you're seeing instead of labeling it and then your brain telling you this is an eye and then trying to draw it like an eye. It still turns out pretty interesting. It's also a good way to really discover your own style of drawing. So leave a comment and let me know how this exercise went for you. Okay, so the next exercise is called blind contour drawing, and this is where you draw the outline of a subject, but you are not looking at your paper. So normally you'd have your paper down here, and I'm just not sure how this is going to turn out for me because I have to do it like this. But let's see, we're just doing the outline. I've got a marker this time instead of a pencil because hopefully you'll be able to see it. Wish me luck. And we're just doing the outline. That's all I could do for this one because it was, let's see. I'm going to try this one flat and see if I could do it flat. So let's see how the difference is. This was the first one, but let's see how that is if I do it flat. These were my 2 attempts at the blind contour drawing for the plants, and I did one where I quickly tried to draw my hand. I would love to know how this one went for you. If you tried this one out, and also try to do your hand and see how that works. I found it worked better when my paper was flat and I was looking at my image, but for the sake of YouTube, I'm just trying to create something that we can all do together. Okay, the third drawing exercise is gestural drawings, like trying to draw with just simple lines to capture a figure. And so I'm going to have the picture show up on the left and we're going to try to draw it on the right. And the focus is not trying to draw this perfectly, it's to capture the overall shape of the image. So we really want to see how this woman is standing, and we're going to get the shape of it with lines, simple lines. And this is not to draw perfect. These are simple lines to capture the overall shape of this woman and how she's standing. And it's quite the challenge, especially the way this person is posed. So we're trying to think in shapes. And it's not about perfection. This is really about getting loose with your drawing and starting with, you could see the shape of her body and the way that she's posed. And so that can sometimes be a challenge, especially when you're figure drawing. So that was the first one. I love the pose, and let's see if we can find a couple more of these, and we'll probably do more of this type of drawing because my channel is a lot about figures and faces. So let's see if we could see another figure. We will try this one here, and I like to start with the head, but again, just focused on the shapes. And we're nice and loose lines. And this isn't about perfection. This is really just a drawing exercise to help you loosen up your drawing. And gestural drawings are a great way. You can, especially when you're just really focused on the lines versus trying to actually draw perfection. We're focused on trying to see the shape of the body, really. And we can tell, like if I actually we could tell that this is a person. It doesn't have to be anything. We could tell that that's a person, just like the other one. We could tell what this that this is a figure. And this is really the beginning phases of figure drawing. You're really just scribbling. And I think that the upside down drawing that we first tried, and then the blind contour drawing, and then this can really help you loosen up with your lines and not focus on the details and trying to draw, something perfect. These are some great exercises, and they're lots of fun, and your expectation is not something to be, the end result is something perfect. The expectation is that you're just practicing and having fun, and you actually end up being delighted or surprised by your own skills and what you've drawn and discovering what you like and what you don't like. So I hope those 3 activities helped you. I'd love to hear how it went for you. I just want to remind you that the ebooks, the link will be in the comment section. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy sketching.